Today, I'm putting Shaq into the 2024 NBA draft to see if he could survive the new era of basketball where big men like Victor Wembanyama can do a little bit of everything. When Shaq played, he was more of a back-to-the-basket player. He couldn't shoot free throws, he couldn't shoot threes, but when he was in the post, you better watch out. And we don't really have a player like that in today's NBA who just dominates in the low post and is a big star like Shaq was. So today we're gonna see what Shaq can do in this new era of basketball. We're gonna start it off with the draft lottery, where we get to see what team gets a chance to select Shaq. And it looks like the Detroit Pistons are gonna get the first overall pick. And I'm assuming that Shaq will go first overall. With the first pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons select Shaq. So Shaq is going to have the tall task of trying to save a Detroit team that was historically trash over this past season. But it looks like he'll have some help in Detroit. During the offseason, the Pistons picked up Pascal Siakam, a great addition to the team. And am I crazy to say I think this squad can make the playoffs this year with the additions of Shaq and Siakam? I don't know, but I guess we're about to find out as we simulate year number 1, Shaq's rookie season. Season number 1 is wrapped, and Shaq got off to a great start to his NBA career, averaging 20 points and 9 rebounds per game to go with 2 blocks a night. But what was even more impressive about Shaq's rookie season was how his team performed. The Detroit Pistons won 57 games. Basketball is back in Detroit, and in round number 1, we're going to be taking on the Miami Heat. The Heat are a team you do not want to see in the NBA playoffs, especially because we're a young team with not much playoff experience. I'm kind of worried. Game number 1 of the series will go to us. We also take game 2. Okay, maybe I have no reason to be worried. We're up 3-1. They're gonna win game 5, but we end up finishing the job in 6. And in the second round, we've got the Philadelphia 76ers. They picked up OG Anunoby over the offseason. I like that addition for them. They've still got Embiid and Maxey. Game number 1 of the series goes to Philly. We're going to win game 2. They win game 3 and 4, but we're going to take game 5. Maybe we can pull off the 3-1 comeback. Okay, we're going to win game 6 as well, meaning that we've got a winner go home game 7 coming up here. A 3-1 comeback in your rookie season would be legendary, Shaq. But it looks like he's just barely gonna come up short, losing by 8 points in game 7. A great game 7 from Shaq though, 26 points and 11 rebounds in this one. Overall, Shaq had some really solid averages for the NBA playoffs. I'm not too mad about being 1 win away from the conference finals in Shaq's rookie season though. I think that's a great start to his NBA career. And plus, the Detroit Pistons have a ton of young talent. Just look at all the green progression arrows on this team. Most importantly, Shaq is going up to an 87 overall headed into year number 2. I think we're in for a special second season from Shaquille. Another season in the books. Luka Doncic, of course, had to win MVP. And in season number 2, we did not see Shaq make an All-NBA appearance. I feel like that's going to come for him soon, though. We were the number 1 seed as a team, and Shaq put up pretty similar numbers to his rookie season. He did grab quite a few more rebounds, and the efficiency was up. Headed into the playoffs, we've got the Toronto Raptors in the first round. The Raptors picked up James Harden and Jalen Green. Interesting, but I don't think that team compares to ours. Yeah, we get them out of there in a sweep. Round 2, it's going to be the Cavs. Yeah, they're always overpowered in 2K, man. They don't have Darius Garland anymore, though. I think they traded Garland for Lauri Markkanen. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They also got Walker Kessler in that trade? Yeah, I'm worried about this series. The Cavs will take game 1 and 2 and 3. We finally win in game 4, but we lose in 5. I'm not surprised. The Cleveland Avengers take us down. Shaq's playoff numbers were pretty solid. And headed into season number 3, Shaq is the new best player on the team, going up to a 91 overall. It's time for Shaquille to establish himself as a star on this league. Make All NBA, maybe get in that MVP conversation. I have big expectations for him headed into year 3. Also, I just noticed they had him wearing number 45 for some reason. You're not Donovan Mitchell. Let's give him number 34. And with Shaq's number changed, I think we're ready to head into season number 3. Year 3 is wrapped. Tyrese Halliburton wins MVP this time. And check it out. Shaq makes All-NBA second team. I knew this would be a big year for him. The numbers went way up. 24 points, 12 rebounds a night, 2.5 blocks. Still no all defense for Shaq just yet though. But in Detroit, we were really good. 58 wins on the season. I think that's the same amount of games we won last year. And it looks like we made a big trade, bringing in Desmond Bane. And we did that by trading away Pascal Siakam. We also got a first-round pick from the Grizzlies. Anyways, headed into the playoffs, we've got the Miami Heat in the first round. We've took them on in the first round before, and we beat them last time. Now our team is much better, so I'm not too worried about us beating them again. We take care of them in 5. Next up, we got the Pacers, led by MVP Hallie. This is a good Pacers squad. I think we can take care of them though. We just have more depth. We're gonna win the first 2 games. Yeah, the Pacers are cooked. We're up 3-0. They're gonna win a game, but we end up taking them down in 5. So a pretty easy trip to the conference finals, but now we have our biggest challenge yet, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They cooked us last year. Game 1 of the series will go to us this time though. We're also gonna take game 2. They get a win in game 3 and they win game 4. I knew it wasn't going to be that easy, and now we've got a big game 5 coming up. The series is all tied up here. This is important for our momentum. And in game 5, we're going to manage a win. Shaq puts up 28 and 15. We just need one more win and we'll be in the NBA Finals. And real quick, if you're enjoying the video so far, I'd really appreciate if you consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 100K by the end of the year. Thank you guys so much for all your support. And look at that, we got another win, a 19-point dub over the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Shaq is going to make his first ever NBA Finals appearance in just his 3rd season. Now, so far in these playoffs, Shaq has been good, but not as good as he was in the regular season. But if there was any time to turn it up, it'd be now. We're going to the finals against Wemby and the Spurs. Yeah, Shaq, you gotta show out for this one. Oh my goodness, the Spurs picked up Scotty Barnes. They've got Lonzo, Cody Williams, Devin Vassell, and of course, Victor Wembanyama. Shaq versus Wemby here in the finals. Game number 1 of this series will go to San Antonio. We're gonna win game 2 and game 3 and game 4. Shaq is an NBA champion, and he must have got the memo to turn it up for the finals. He averaged 27 points and 12 rebounds per night, winning Finals MVP and making easy work of Victor Wembanyama. What a playoff run that was for Shaquille O'Neal. And in this upcoming season, Shaq should be even better. He's up to a 93 overall, and we managed to keep our championship core together, so it looks like we're gonna try to repeat this season. Season is wrapped. Man, they just popped up with the update required as the season ended. I'll have to apply that update in just a second, but Shaq does make All-NBA second team this year. Numbers a little bit down from last season, but still really good nonetheless. And we won 54 games, making us the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. In the first round of the playoffs, we're going to be taking on the Milwaukee Bucks, who picked up Kyrie Irving. They don't have Dame anymore, and now they have Kyrie. That is insane. Game number 1 of the series will go to us. They're going to win game 2, we win game 3, and they win game 4. Yeah, the Kyrie and Giannis duo is kind of scary, but we will take game 5 and end up closing it out in 6. Next up, we got the Toronto Raptors. They've got Jalen Green and Mikal Bridges, but this team isn't too crazy. Well, we're tied up at 2 apiece after 4 games. They'll take game 5, and we end up losing in 6. My bad, Toronto. I underestimated you all. And this year, Shaq's numbers were down in the playoffs. I feel like Shaq has kind of struggled sometimes in these playoffs. Not like he's absolutely terrible or anything, but he could be better on the biggest stage. Now, last year, he did have that incredible finals performance against Victor Wembanyama, and we're going to need him to play like that throughout all of the playoffs. He's our best player. We need Shaq to go out there and take over. Headed into season number 5 for Shaq, he is up to a 95 overall, so that should help him take over in these big games. Anyways, let's get to another year and see if we can make it back to the finals and win the championship once again. Another season in the books. This time it's Luka winning MVP once again. Shaq makes All-NBA second team this year, averaging about 22 points and 13 rebounds. And we had a bit of a down year, only winning 49 games. Now this season we did end up making a pretty big pickup, adding Franz Wagner to the team. We traded Asar to go get Franz? I don't know how much I like that. Asar was a rising young star for our team, but it's too late now. I can't undo the trade. In round number 1 of the playoffs, we got the Indiana Pacers with Isaiah Collier and Tyrese Halliburton. That backcourt is scary. I guess they weren't scary. We swept them. Headed into round number 2, we got the Brooklyn Nets. They're the 8th seed. They just upset the 1 seed, and I'm not really sure how. This team looks pretty bad to me. We're up 3-1 against them. They're going to win game 5, but we finish it in 6. So a pretty easy trip back to the conference finals, where we'll be taking on the Wizards. Their highest overall player is 86 overall Josh Giddey. Game number 1 of the series will go to Washington. We win game 2 and 3 and 4. They'll take game 5 though, and they'll win game 6, setting up a winner go home game 7 with a finals trip on the line. Come on, Detroit. You all can't blow a 3-1 lead, especially to a team like this. Well, it looks like it's going to come down to the wire. We got to jump in. About 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go here, and we're down by 3. Wait, is that Asar Thompson on the Wizards? It is. This is the Asar Thompson Revenge series. Anyways, Thompson is going to give it into Davis. Now it goes to Giddey. Giddey back to Thompson. Thompson swings it to Giddey. Giddey is defended by Katie, spins off of him, passes out of the layup. Now the ball goes back to Asar. Thompson gets the screen from Davis, dumps it down to him on the roll, and Johnny Davis is going to finish it with a layup. Just like that, we are down by 5 points. Still plenty of time to go though, about 2 minutes left. We're running the Cade and Shaq pick and roll. Cade pulls a midi, misses. Shaq the rebound, and he's gonna dunk it home. That's what I like to see from Shaquille O'Neal. A rebound and then a slam. But we need more stops and more buckets because we're still down by 3 points. Giddey is going to get the screen up top from Denny Avdia. Josh Giddey driving to the basket. Good defense from Shaq, and he erases Josh Giddey's shot. Peyton Watson going to give it into Klingon. Now it goes over to Giddey. Josh Giddey, with not much time left on the shot clock, gives it to Rob Dillingham for 3, and he knocks it down. That is not good. Now we find ourselves down by 6 with only 1:30 remaining. Alright, Cade, what you got? We need a bucket here. Cunningham going to work on Dillingham. He's double teamed. He swings it to Ivy, who's wide open in the mid-range. Come on, Jaden. Come on, bro. We need you to make that shot 10 times out of 10. And now Asar Thompson's bringing it up. Thompson over to Klingon. Back to Josh Giddey. Giddey going to work on Ivy in the post. That's a bad shot. Come on, man. There's no way we're letting Josh Giddey get buckets like that. Cade, we need something now. We're down by 8. It is not looking good at all. Cunningham spins, going to the basket, takes the jumper, and misses. Oh, we might just be cooked here. Rob Dillingham bringing it up for the Wizards. He's going to spin. Dillingham, he doesn't need to be in a hurry because, I mean, the Wizards have a big lead here. They want to chew clock. It's going to go back to Giddey. Giddey spins off of Jaden Ivey, and the jumper misses. Shaq the rebound. All right, this is our last chance, man. We probably need a three-pointer and quick. Cunningham going to work on Dillingham. Bad mid-range jumper, but it's going to drop. I think we're done for, though, man. Less than 27 seconds to go. We're down by 6. Yeah, that's going to do it. We end up losing in this one. Shaq 21-11 is not going to be enough. The Detroit Pistons have been eliminated. That Rockets team sucked, man. How did we lose to them? We got to make it back to the finals next year. There's no reason we shouldn't have been in the finals last year. That team was terrible. Josh Giddey was their best player, bro. I can't believe we lost to them. Another season in the books. Cooper Flagg wins MVP this year. And check it out. Shaq wins Defensive Player of the Year. Wait, I just realized he won it last year and I forgot to mention it. My bad. But congrats on the award, Shaq. Shaq made All-NBA second team once again, averaging 23 points and 12 rebounds per game. And we were the #1 seed in the East with 54 wins. In round number 1 of the playoffs, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're up 3-2, and we finished the job in 6. Next up, it's going to be the Hornets. Wait, we have Embiid on this team now? Hold on, we'll check out how Embiid got here in a second. But the Hornets have LaMelo, Brandon Miller, and Alexander Sarr. That's tough. But how did we get Joel, man? We traded Franz for Embiid? Alright, I don't know what the team's doing. They're trying to sell. But let's go ahead and win this series, man. Yeah, we're cooked. We might just lose to the Hornets. Come on, let's make this comeback. Alright, we were down 3-0. And now we're headed to a Game 7. Oh, no. We might as well have not showed up for Game 7. We are getting ran out the arena, bro. They beat us by 26 points in this one. And Shaq, he had 19 and 9. Again, the numbers went down a little bit in the playoffs. That was a tough Hornets team to run into, especially when we didn't have Franz. I don't know why we'd get rid of him. Because Embiid, once you get late in these simulations, he starts regressing. Like, once we get to this player progression, trust me, he'll probably be like an 81 overall. What did I tell y'all, man? 82 overall, and he's gonna be making like 40 mil a year for the next 2 years. What a terrible trade from our team. Shaq, I'm gonna need you to take over because we just lost one of our best pieces. This next season needs to be an MVP type of year from you. I hope you can win the award. Another season in the books, and Shaq did not manage to win MVP, but there goes a third DPOY for Shaquille, averaging 20 and 11 on the season. Shaq also made second team this year. I feel like he's made second team a lot in this video. And we only won 46 games. That's what you get when you trade for Joel Embiid, man. Anyways, headed into the playoffs, we've got the Bucks in round number 1. And we're headed to a Game 7 against Milwaukee. They still have Giannis. They've also got Cody Williams. Old man Giannis trying to make it to the second round, but hopefully we can stop him. Oh, it looks like we're definitely stopping them. We're cooking in this one. A dominant effort to move on to round number 2. 30 and 18 from Shaquille. And next up, we got the Hornets. This is our chance to get revenge on this team. They don't have Brandon Miller anymore, but they do have Elijah Arenas. And overall, the team still looks really solid. Game number 1 of the series will go to them. They'll also take Game 2. We finally get a win in Game 3, but they take Game 4. Ultimately, we lose the series in 5. And once again, our season is over in disappointing fashion. And Shaq, his numbers go down for the playoffs like they do every year. Come on, Shaquille, man. You're starting to sell in these NBA playoffs. And oh my goodness, we lost a lot of our depth over the offseason. It's really just Shaq, Cade, and Jaden Ivey. The rest of the team is looking tragic. Shaq, I feel like unless things get better, it might be time to pursue free agency once your contract is up in 2 years. I mean, this team, it doesn't look great, and we've been disappointing in the playoffs year after year. But maybe we can turn things around this season. Oh man, this year was rough. Shaq, you got a DPOY, and he also made first team, but that's about all we have to celebrate this year. 38 wins on the season. We even got Mikal Bridges on a minimum. It didn't matter. We were a play-in team, the 9 seed. Can we at least make the playoffs? No. Over the offseason, our only major pickup was G.G. Jackson. Shaq's headed into the last year of his deal. I know you wanted Chip here, Shaq, but I think it might be time to go next offseason. Another season in the books. Cam Boozer wins MVP this year. Shaq takes home yet another Defensive Player of the Year award, averaging 23 points and 13 rebounds a night. Pretty similar numbers to last year. Shaq also made All-NBA first team and got a 5-year extension to remain in Detroit. And this year we managed to play in spot with 42 wins. We're the 8th seed, so we just gotta win 1 game to get in, and we still can't even win 1 game, bro. We had 2 chances. No playoffs once again for the Diesel. And now Cade's already starting to regress. Shaq, we need an MVP season out of you if we want to even have a chance at being a playoff team. Another season in the books, Cooper Flagg wins MVP, Shaq does win DPOY, and he actually had a career high in scoring this year, putting up 24.3 points per game. And Shaq was named to the All-NBA second team. And we had a pretty good year, winning 47 games. And I think a lot of that is because we were able to pick up Cason Wallace, an 86 overall point guard, on a minimum contract. Now, Cason's only on a one-year deal, so we got to take advantage of this opportunity while we can. In round number 1, we got the New York Knicks. They look really nice. We're down 3-1 to New York, and we end up losing in 5. And again, Shaq's numbers were lower in the playoffs. I'm starting to think he's a playoff fraud. And this summer, we didn't really make any notable free agency additions, except for bringing back Pistons legend Marvin Bagley. And with Shaq having 3 years left on his contract, if things don't improve in Detroit, I'm going to force him to hit free agency a couple off seasons from now. Because I don't want to see him waste his entire career with the Pistons. If they're just going to be terrible, then he's got to go. Man, Cooper Flagg has been dominant in this simulation, and Shaq has been dominant when it comes to this DPOY award, but that's about it. We haven't seen Shaq make any real noise in the playoffs in quite some time. This year, we won 41 games and lost 41 games. We were just mid. In the play-in tournament, we got the Boston Celtics, and we actually earned a playoff spot this year. In round number 1, we got the Hornets. Oh my goodness. This team is nuts, man. They have so many guys that they can go to. I don't know how we're going to beat them, but we're tied up at 2 apiece. All right. They're going to take a 3-2 lead, but we win game 6. Okay, we're headed to a game 7. I didn't expect this. Shaq, opportunities like this in Detroit might not come up very often because we've been trash lately. We need to take advantage and get this dub against Charlotte, and it looks like the game's going to come down to the wire. We got to jump in. 2-point game here with about a minute and a half to go. The ball's gonna go into Cade Cunningham. Shaq is not in the game right now for the Pistons. Shaq isn't fouled out though, so I'll expect him to be checking in soon. For now, let's see Cade go to work. Cunningham gets the screen from Max Christie, gives it to Christie for a 3. Big shot from Max! And that will give us the lead. When he pulled that, I was like, what is he thinking? But hey, it worked out. Now Anthony Black is bringing up the ball for Charlotte. Black is looking for Sarr in the post. He's going to dump it down to him. He's defended by the smaller Giddey. Sarr fades and misses. Josh Giddey grabs the rebound. Now Giddey's going to give it over to Cade Cunningham. Cunningham going to the basket on Anthony Black, and he's going to get fouled. We need these foul shots out of you, Cade. First one is good. Now Shaq is checked in. Second foul shot for Cunningham is also good. So now we're sitting on a 3-point lead. Just don't let up a 3-pointer. It's simple math. Elijah Arenas has the ball. Arenas is going to swing it over to Smith. Smith going to the basket, going to fake. He goes up with the layup, misses, and Sarr cleans up his mess. So now we only have a 1-point lead. We could use a bucket. Let's get the Cade and Shaq pick and roll going. Instead, Cunningham's going to swing it over to Jackson for a 3. Gigi misses. Oh no, the Hornets have a chance to take the lead. Smith gonna spin off of Ivy, swing it over to Arenas. Arenas defended by Shaquille O'Neal, and he's gonna find the big for the and 1. When you saw he had the open layup, why would you push him to the ground? It was already cooked once he got open for the layup. You might as well let him have it. The free throw is off though. Okay, we're only down by 1. 18.3 seconds to go. Let's get a bucket, please. Gigi Jackson gives it into Cade Cunningham. Cunningham at the top of the key here is going to the basket. Cunningham spins. He's kind of trapped. Passes it to Shaq. Shaq backing down his man, puts up a hook and gets it to go. Let's go, Shaq. Still 6.6 seconds on the clock for the Charlotte Hornets, so this game is not over yet. A buzzer beater right here would be devastating. Arenas is gonna get the ball. Arenas defended by Ivy, creates a little bit of space, pulls the jumper and knocks it down. We have no timeouts left, so we're just gonna have to throw up a full court shot. Please, Cade, please, Cade, please. Oh man, we end up losing in this one. Shaq averaged about 22 points and 11 boards for the playoffs. We finally had some excitement in the NBA playoffs. Got to see our team out there hooping. I thought for a second we might just make the second round, but no, we lost. Let's get into another season. Maybe we can have a miracle run next year or something. We'll see. Another season in the books. Cooper Flagg wins MVP once again, and Shaq's DPOY streak is over. Wemby had to get one. Shaq made All-NBA NBA third team. He is 30 years old at this point, and Shaq wasn't exactly known for longevity in the league. Have you all seen the Celtics Shaq memes? We won 44 games on the year, making us a play-in team once again. We're pretty much just play-in frauds year after year. This year, we do make the playoffs, and we're going to be taking on New York. The Knicks have beat us before, but their team does look a little bit different now. They're probably worse than they were last time. Maybe we can somehow pull off a miracle. We're down 3-2. And we lose in 6. And Shaq's numbers actually went up during the playoffs. At least the scoring did. The rebounds were down. He also averaged over 3 blocks per night. Solid playoff series from Shaq. And with Shaq entering the final year of his contract, unless we have some miracle 60-win season where we make the finals, I'm going to force him to hit free agency and join a new team. Because obviously things haven't been working out in Detroit lately. Shout out to Daniel Burke winning the MVP award. Shaq is back winning the DPOY. But Shaq only made third team this year once again, and we went 41-41 on the season, making us the 8th seed in the play-in. We once again earn a play-in spot. We're taking on New York, and we lost to New York again, so it's time for Shaq to get out of Detroit. Shaq is here in free agency. We'll see where he goes. Shaq thinks he's KD. He just went to the team that beat him. That's right, Shaq is now a New York Knick. Now they've lost some of their pieces, but they still have Caleb Gaskins, who is a really good power forward. He's a 95 overall. This front court in New York might just be crazy. Let's get into another season. Shaq might just win a chip this year. I don't want to say anything too early, but we're cooking right now. Look at the start that we've gotten off to this season. Things are going so well. I'm excited to see what happens this postseason. Season is wrapped. Cooper Flagg wins another MVP. That's 5. But we're not too worried about him, man, because we were out here doing some great stuff in New York. Caleb Gaskins was All-NBA. Shaq actually wasn't All-NBA, but that was fine. It worked out. We won 59 games on the season. Shaq had a solid year alongside Gaskins, and overall, we were just hooping. We picked up Tyrese Proctor. I'm not sure how we did that, but he's on the team now, so welcome to the squad. We also got Donovan Clingan on a minimum contract. The team was out here making moves. In the first round, we're going to be taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Shaq, you have a real chance at a chip. Don't blow it by losing to the 8th seed. There you go. We're moving on to round 2 against the Toronto Raptors. This is a really well-rounded starting 5 they have in Toronto, but we have the 2 best players in the series in Gaskins and O'Neal. That might not matter though. We're down 2-1 early. We're going to win game 4. They take game 5 and we win game 6, setting up a winner-go-home game 7 with a conference finals trip on the line. And it looks like Shaq and company are going to get the job done. Caleb Gaskins with 20. Shaq had 18 and 9 in this one. And in the conference finals, we got Atlanta. This is another really good squad. As you get deeper into these simulations, sometimes the teams start to get absolutely insane. We're down 2-1 against the Hawks early. We're going to win game 4 and game 5, but they take game 6. We've got another game 7. Nothing can be easy for our New York Knicks squad. But if we can just get this dub, we're going to the finals, and it looks like we're going to get the win. Shaq is back in the NBA Finals. It's been so long. When did he win his last championship? In 2027. Shaq has played 14 years in this league, and he only has 1 championship. Now he's going to have a chance to go for number 2 over 10 years after he won the first one. Oh my gosh. We might be cooked. How did they get Ja Morant? I mean, I know the rest of the team was insane too, but wow. Game 1 of the series will go to us. We also take game 2 and 3. We just swept that team. And Caleb Gaskins wins Finals MVP. Oh my gosh, we lost Caleb Gaskins to free agency. And now it's all on old man Shaq, who's starting to regress. Good thing we won the chip when we did, because this next year might be rough. We went from champions to absolute trash. Shout out to Shaq winning DPOY. He did his thing in year 15. He's still great. Shaq even made All-NBA first team. He tried to pull some more weight for this team in the absence of Caleb Gaskins, but it didn't work. We won 32 games. And we traded our picks, so we don't even have a chance to land somebody good in the draft to help out Shaq. Maybe we can pick up somebody in free agency or something. We didn't pick anybody up, and Shaq is down to a 93 at 33 years old. He's got 2 years left on his contract, so maybe he'll leave New York, try and ring chase somewhere as a veteran. We'll have to see. Season is wrapped, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, the Knicks surprised me this year. Now, we weren't like the best team in the league or anything. Shaq did win DPOY at 34, which is cool. He also won Clutch Player of the Year. Apparently, he was just out there hooping, right? And despite winning those awards, Shaq did not make All-NBA. But regardless, we won 45 games and actually got a playoff spot. I gotta give Shaq his props. That's pretty incredible considering the team we have. In round number 1, we got the Philadelphia 76ers. Are we actually gonna win? Wow, we're moving on to round 2 against Chicago. Uh-oh, this team's really good. I'm guessing our run's gonna end here, but anything is possible. Okay, we lost in 6. Wow, this is one of the best playoff runs we've seen from Shaq, though. He left it all out there on the floor. His teammates just didn't step up enough, unfortunately. And over the offseason, Shaq regressed some more. He's down to a 91, and he's also on the last year of his deal. It'll be interesting to see if he signs an extension or pursues free agency. Oh my goodness, the last year of his contract is worth over $75 million. That's nuts. But let's get into another year. Another season in the books, and once again, the New York Knicks surprised me. Maybe it was because of this Todd Augustine dude. He was putting up really good numbers. He won Most Improved Player. But regardless of what it was, we were out there playing some really good basketball. We won 47 games on the year. Shaq averaged 19 and 10, and he also signed an extension to remain with the team. He got the bag. And in round number 1, we're taking on the 3-seeded Hornets. It looks like we're gonna beat them. Okay, that was pretty easy. Now in round number 2, we got the Sixers. They had Daniel Burke, who's a 98 overall, starting at the 3. This might get bad. It's 2-2 after 4 games. They win game 5, and we win game 6. Okay. Game 7 on the way. Shaq looking to make a conference finals late in his NBA career. And it looks like the old man still got a little something left. We won by 1. I should have jumped in there, but nonetheless, we get the dub. Shaq with 18 and 9, and we are advancing to the conference finals against the 8-seeded Nets. This team isn't too crazy. They're definitely beatable. Come on, Shaq. One last finals run. We're up 2-1. We win game 4. They take game 5, but we win the series in 6. We're in the finals taking on the Phoenix Suns. And we once again have the best player in the series in Shaq. All right, Shaq, here's your chance to add another chip to that resume. Game 1 of the series will go to us. We also take game 2 and 3. We swept them, and Shaq wins finals MVP at 35 years old. What a run it was for Shaq. I thought the regression was hitting. I thought he was done for. But instead, Shaq went out there and won another NBA championship. And with Shaq regressing down to a 90 overall, going back to back would be absolutely crazy. But anything is possible, I guess. So I was just sitting here simulating the season, and I was checking out the roster and noticed Shaq is no longer on the team. I think we traded him. We traded Shaq for Ellis Harrington and a first rounder. Now Shaq is playing for Denver. Okay, this Nuggets team is pretty good. We've got Tyron Stokes, Isaiah Collier. How are they doing in the wins column? Oh. Well, it might be back to watching the playoffs from the couch for Shaq. I mean, we'll see if we can make a turnaround, but it's not looking good right now. Another season in the books. Bruce Cooper wins MVP. I can't believe New York gave up on Shaq a year after he led them to the chip. That actually sucks, because now we aren't even in the playoffs in Denver. And the Knicks actually did make it into the playoffs. That's what they get. They lose in the first round without Shaq. And now Shaq is down to an 87 overall as he heads into year 19. I don't know how many more seasons the old man has left in him. Oh my goodness, I was so excited because the Nuggets were doing well, right? And a thought popped up in my head. What if Shaq got traded again? And that's exactly what happened. They traded Shaq to the Grizzlies for Isaiah Evans. This guy's name is Vince Carter. He's an auto-generated player with the same name as, you know, Vince Carter from real life. I don't think I've seen that before. That's really interesting. Unfortunately, though, the Grizzlies suck. They're the 13th seed in the West. Season is wrapped. Cam Boozer wins MVP. Check it out, Shaq won DPOY. Good job, old man. Unfortunately, Shaq's DPOY didn't lead to wins. We only won 35 games and completely missed out on the playoffs. At 37 years old, Shaq is headed into year number 20, and he's down to an 84 overall. I'm guessing there's not going to be much winning going on in Memphis, but we'll see how this year goes. I wonder if Shaq will retire after the end of the season. Another season in the books. This dude, Mark Randall, has won like a million MVPs. Okay, it's only 4. I'm exaggerating crazily. I thought he's won a lot more. I swear I've seen that screen so many times. Anyway, this year, the Grizzlies won 35 games, missing the playoffs. Shaq averaged a solid 17-8. And Shaq is ready to leave the game. After 20 years pro, at the age of 38, Shaq has officially retired. He won 3 championships, 2 finals MVPs, made 15 All-Star teams, 3 All-NBA first teams, 7 All-NBA second teams, and 3 All-NBA third teams. But probably his most impressive accomplishment was winning all those Defensive Player of the Years. Shaq won a ridiculous 11 DPOYs throughout his career. In addition to that, he finished 10th all-time in scoring, 3rd in rebounds, and 4th in blocks. That's it for the video. Have a great day. Be sure to like and subscribe.